Hello everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda and I am so excited to share today's video with you all, as today we have the brand new Spring Bling collection. This collection has literally just launched on the Kiki London website, so I will leave a link in the description box below in case you guys want to head straight on over and check it out. So the brand new collection consists of 8 new gel polish colours, and in today's video I'm going to be swatching them all, and I'm also going to do a couple of easy designs just to give you guys a rough idea how you can use them. Now, in case you haven't guessed, the Spring Bling collection consists of 8 glitter gel polishes. I'm also going to be using the no wipe top coat today to swatch them for you all, so I really hope you all enjoy watching. Now let's jump straight in and take a look at the colours that are in this collection. So first up we have Aqua Azure. Now this one has a green/teal coloured base, and then it's jam-packed with silver holographic glitter pieces, which gives off an absolutely beautiful shimmer. Now as soon as I opened this one, I got full-on mermaid vibes. I just think this will look absolutely beautiful in a mermaid set of nails. So I'm really looking forward to giving that design a try. But let's take a look at it swatched. So this is that first thin coat of colour applied, and all of these gel polishes you can get away with doing them in one thin coat if you kind of just want a subtle shimmer, or you can come in and apply a second coat if you want a more full-on opaque glitter gel polish. So they are really versatile depending on the effect and the opacity that you want. As you can see, once we've added that second coat of colour, it just makes the colour pop a little bit more and gives you a little bit more sparkle. Now I'm going to come in and top coat, just applying a nice thin even layer. And then once that has cured, we're able to see how truly shiny these glitter gel polishes are. So just take a look at the sparkle. They are all jam-packed with this sparkle, by the way. So as you can see, this one is just absolutely beautiful. Now the second colour in this collection is called Amber Flame, and as you can guess from the name, this has such a gorgeous rich amber base to it. Although this is a spring collection, this is definitely a colour that I can see myself using all year round, especially in the summer and the autumn, just because of that rich golden tone that it has to it. Now I do use this one in one of the designs further along, and I use it over the top of another gel polish colour just because I wanted to show you guys how you can create so many different effects with these colours. If you pop them over a base, the glitter's gonna, or the colour of the gel is gonna look slightly differently. So like I said, they are really versatile. And again, just look at the coverage for one coat of colour. They're just amazing. I was blown away with this collection and I've been so excited to share it all with you. So I'm just going to come in and apply that second coat of colour, and on the second coat it kind of just makes the colour pop a little bit more. So you've already got a lot of sparkle there in the first coat, but that second coat just brings the colour to life a little bit more, which is fab if you're wanting to do a full glitter nail. If I'm doing something like a glitter fade, I personally find one coat is enough with this particular collection of glitter gels. So there we have Amber Flame. I just love that rich golden tone to this one. And this one especially pairs up with so many of the other Kiki London spring colours. I feel as though because it's got quite a neutral tone, it does pair up well with a lot of colours. Moving on to the third colour in the collection, we have Blue Lagoon, and I just love the shade of blue that's in the base colour of this gel polish. It kind of gave me a bit of an ocean vibe, but it also would look amazing in a Frozen inspired set of nails too. The blue base really does make the silver particles pop. Now, as I've said in previous videos, I like to apply my gel polishes in nice thin coats of colour, and the exact same goes for these glitter gel polishes, except for when I'm working with glitter gels, I kind of like to float the colour down the nail just so you don't pull off too much of the glitter as you're pulling your brush down the nail. So you'll see I've not taken too much on my brush, I'm just floating it down the nail. Now, although these are glitter gel polishes and they are jam-packed with glitter, the particles are nice and fine, so you don't end up with a thick, gloopy consistency product. The consistency of these gel polishes is still very, very thin and really nice to work with. And once we come in and top coat, you can really see those sparkles come to life even more. So this is the gorgeous blue Lagoon. Just how stunning is this colour? Now, I found it really hard to pick a favourite in this collection because there's there's a couple of them that really stand out to me. But let me know in the comments below which one is your favourite, and are you excited to purchase this collection? Now, the fourth colour in this collection is a Romantic Spark, and I was really pleased to see that there was a pink in this collection because I absolutely love pink during the spring season. Now, when I opened this up, I was quite intrigued by the colour because the base colour looks quite creamy and it's got that dusky pink tone to it. So I was really intrigued, like I said, to see how this one would swatch, but I was absolutely blown away. One coat, it gives off quite a soft, subtle pastel pink colour, again with those silver holographic glitter pieces running through it. So I popped that in to cure in my Kiki London LED lamp, and then I'm going to come in and apply the second coat of colour. Now, what I loved was once I come in and pop down this second coat of colour, it really brought to life that dusky pink shade, and I loved it because, again, this colour is just so versatile. If you want a more softer pink colour, you can get away with doing one coat, but if you want that rich dusky pink colour, then come in and apply the second coat of colour. This is definitely going to be one of those ones that I'm going to use a lot this spring because it just has proper true spring vibes to it. Again, I'm going to come in and top coat. And another thing that I really liked about this one is in certain lights, I think it was because of the darker colour base, the sparkles looked both silver and gold. It just gave off such a beautiful reflection. You can kind of see it here. In one way it looks a little bit gold and in another way it looks a little bit silver. So there we have a Romantic Spark. Just how pretty does this colour look? Moving on to the fifth colour in the collection, we have Violet Days. Now, I absolutely love lilac and purples in the springtime especially, and I loved this one because, again, it had that dusky colour base to it. Rather than the dusky pink like in the Romantic Spark, this one has that dusky purple tone to it. And because of the creamy consistency to it, this one is quite opaque as well. So one thin coat gives off quite good coverage. And just look how beautiful this colour is. It's just so dreamy, and I feel as though this particular colour would pair up with quite a few of the other Kiki London spring collection colours. Kiki London do have 3 other spring collections. I will leave some swatches further along in the video, but in amongst those collections they have quite a few pinks and purples, and this one would just pair up beautifully. Whether it would be doing a full colour glitter nail or a glitter fade, it would just look really beautiful with them. Now, after that second coat of colour, you can see that this one is very opaque, which is absolutely beautiful, especially when you're wanting to do full colour gel polish nails, because you're definitely not going to need more than 2 coats of colour with any of these, but especially those creamier consistency ones. And I really loved how the sparkles looked against this lilac violet background. Just absolutely beautiful. I'm definitely feeling having this one on my own nails soon, but I also really want to do that mermaid set of nails, so I'm not sure which I'm going to do first. Now we have the gorgeous Angel Light. Now this one, I have to say, if I was forced to pick a favourite, I think it would have to be this one, which I was quite surprised at because I am usually more of a lilac or teal person, and it was so hard to pick a favourite out of this collection because they are all super stunning. But there was just something about this one. I really loved it because it's kind of somewhere between a blue and a lilac, and it paired up. I've paired it up with a couple of colours to see how it would work, and it paired up with them all absolutely beautifully. Further along in the video, I do a glitter fade with it, and it just faded absolutely effortlessly. Now with that first coat of colour, it is a little bit sheer, which is what made it so easy to blend when it does come to doing a glitter fade. But once you do come in and apply the second coat of colour, you get that more full-on opaque look. And then you can really see the true base colour, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I think the name as well suits this one perfectly. Now that we've cured that second coat of colour, I'm going to come in and top coat. So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the top coats. Kiki London have a couple of different top coats available to purchase, and I love them all for different reasons. But today I opted to use the no wipe top coat, and that's because it has such an amazing high shine finish. I just knew it would pair up absolutely beautifully with these glitter gel polishes. Like if you look here, it has such a beautiful glass-like finish to it. So it really makes the glitters pop, and you can just see how well it reflects. Like you can see my light reflecting and bouncing off of it beautifully. Now here we have our second to last colour in the Spring Bling collection, and this one is called Ice Queen, and it is just absolutely beautiful. It's a clear base gel, and then it's jam packed with those fine silver holographic sparkles, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. So when I come in and applied this first coat of colour, I was quite shocked at how well this covered in one coat of colour. Sometimes when you have a more clear base gel, you need to build up your layers to really get an opaque glitter finish. But this one looked absolutely beautiful with just one coat of colour. Because I was doing the swatches, I did come in and do a second coat, but in all honesty, if I was using this on myself or a client, I really think you could just get away with one coat. And another thing about this one, because it's got the clear base to it, you could pop this over any other coloured gel polish and it would give off a slightly different effect. So for example, if you popped it over a darker colour, it would give off a different effect than if you popped it over a lighter gel polish colour. So I'm really looking forward to playing around with all of these, coming up with some combinations and sharing them with you all. Of course, in the next few videos coming up, I will be using a lot of these colours because I'm really excited to put this collection into sets and create lots of different designs using them, because you can't beat glitter gel polishes, can you? They're just amazing, and they are such a fun and quick, easy way to create pretty nail art. Now the last colour in this collection is called Champagne Spritz, and just like how I was saying a silver is a necessity, I think a gold is as well, because I just think you get a lot of use out of silver and gold all year round. They're colours that pair with lots of other gel polish colours. What I loved about this particular one is it is more that champagne gold rather than your classic yellow gold. I personally prefer a champagne style gold because I just think they look a little bit softer, so the overall colour is a little bit more pretty. And this one, as you can see it here, I've said it for every single colour, but it's absolutely beautiful. And again, where this one is that little bit more sheer on the first coat of colour, very similar to the Ice Queen, it's going to make it really easy when it comes to doing a glitter fade, because you're going to be able to blend it into your base colour effortlessly. So it's going to make a beautiful colour over any base for a glitter fade, in my opinion. Now, I absolutely loved this collection. I was just blown away by it. I really think after the year we've all had, we all need a little bit of sparkle in our lives. And with salons reopening here in England on the 12th, what better way to welcome your clients back but with some beautiful sparkly gel polishes. So I really hope you all loved this collection as much as I did. So here we have the Spring Bling collection in its full glory, starting at Aqua Azure, then we have Amber Flame, Blue Lagoon, Romantic Spark, Violet Days, Angel Lights, Ice Queen and Champagne Spritz. Don't forget to comment below and let me know which one is your favourite. Now I did also want to share with you guys some of the previous Kiki London collections. So these are their spring collection. First up here we have the Spring 2018 collection. And that consists of 8 gorgeous colours, and I love this collection because you've got a mix of light and dark colours. I will leave all of their names listed on screen, and I will also leave links in the description box below. And then here we have the Spring 2019 collection. And I really like this collection because they're kind of like bright pastel colours. I just find them all really, really pretty, and I get a lot of use out of these ones. Now, all of these are still available to purchase as collections on the Kiki London website. So it does work out a little bit cheaper if you buy them as a collection, but you can also buy them individually as well. And this particular collection here is the Spring 2020 collection. Now I wanted to show you guys a couple of quick and easy designs using a couple of the colours from the new Spring Bling collection, just to give you a rough idea of how I would do them and how I would incorporate them into my gel polish sets. So on the first one, we're going to be doing a simple glitter fade. So I've applied one coat of Baby Boy, I've popped that into Cure, and then I'm going to come in and apply my second coat of colour. Never worry if your first coat of colour looks a little bit sheer or uneven, because the true colour pops once you apply that second coat of colour, and this is where you can see how creamy and opaque the colour really is. So then I'm going to be using my Kiki London Ombre brush to apply my glitter and create that glitter fade. Now I love the Ombre brush, I use it for lots of ombres, but it does come in handy for doing a glitter fade as well. So to start off with, I'm coming in with Angel Light down at that cuticle area, and I'm just painting it on, keeping it nice and thin, but making sure that there's a nice even amount applied. And I'm just taking this down to roughly 1/4 of the nail. And then I'm going to come in with my ombre brush and start gently feathering it down the nail. And I'm working with really light strokes. The video is sped up, so it looks as though I'm being a little bit more heavy-handed than I actually am. But I'm basically just gently feathering that gel polish down the nail. And because it's quite sheer, once you apply that first coat of colour, it blended out absolutely beautifully. I didn't need to come in and add a second coat of colour or anything. So I'm going to come straight in and top coat this nail. And that has got to be the easiest glitter fade that I have ever done. It looked so beautiful though. I was really impressed with how these two colours looked together. Like, think how quick and easy that would be to do as a full set on a client, yet it looks like it's took a lot more work than it actually has. For this second design, I'm going to be using Romantic Spark with Spring Fling. And on this nail, I wanted to do a scalloped tip French. I've been seeing this a little bit on Pinterest and Instagram, and I really wanted to give it a go, but I wanted to keep the designs quite simple. And this is a lot more simple than doing a classic French nail, but I still think it looks quite elegant and pretty. So I've applied my first coat of Spring Fling, curing that for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to come in and apply the second coat of colour. Now, how gorgeous is Spring Fling? This is one of my favourite colours. And as I was saying when I swatched the Romantic Spark, I absolutely love pinks for spring. So I knew instantly that these two colours would pair beautifully. Now I'm also going to be using my Kiki London Stripe Liner Brush for this design. I love this one when I've got to do any intricate nail art. And I also want the Spring Fling to be matte. So I'm coming in with the Kiki London No Wipe Matte Top Coat. And I'm just going to apply a thin layer of this to all of the nail. So basically with this design, I wanted a glossy glitter tip, but I wanted the nail bed area to be that matte base. Now I absolutely loved how Spring Fling looked matte, but moving on to creating our scalloped tip edge, I'm running my stripe liner brush through the Romantic Spark gel polish, and I'm just creating quite bumpy lines, I suppose. I'm just painting on some curves, and then I'm going to come in and just make sure that they're nice and neat, because although they're not got to be crisp and sharp, we do still want them to look quite neat, and I kind of want them to be parallel to each other, so I want them to go the same length down the nail. And then I'm just going to fill this edge in with the Romantic Spark glitter. So I switched to the round nail art brush for this because I found it a little bit easier than using the gel bottle brush, especially when you're working on a client. A smaller brush just makes it a lot easier. And I'm simply just painting that in, being really careful that I keep in those lines that we created with the stripe liner brush. Making sure to apply the glitter gel nice and evenly. As I said when I was swatching them, you want to work with quite light feathery strokes so you don't pull off too much of the gel polish. Then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to pop that in to cure. Now I wanted to keep the Spring Fling matte and just have the tip where the glitter is glossy. So I popped some of my no wipe top coat down on my palette, and then I'm just top coating over the Romantic Spark, and I loved this combination of matte and glossy. So once I've finished applying this, I'll pop this in to cure for 30 seconds. And again, this was a really quick, simple design. I wanted to keep everything for this video quite quick and simple because the video was already quite long. But if you have any requests or any designs you would like to see using the new Spring Bling collection, please do comment below and I'll happily give them a go. On to the third design. I'm going to start off by using Fiji Water and Pool Party. These are two of my absolute favourite colours. And then I'm going to team these up with the Blue Lagoon. Now, when I was first planning this design, I wasn't 100% sure how well these colours would work together, but it really worked. And I was really impressed with how pretty this design turned out. So to begin with, I'm going to be ombreing those two colours together. So I've applied the Pool Party at the cuticle area of the nail and then Fiji Waters down at the tip end of the nail. And then I'm coming back in with that ombre brush and I'm going to blend these two colours together. Now I've just sped through this design, but if you want a bit more of an in-depth tutorial on ombres, I will leave linked in the description box below some of the other videos I've done because we talk a little bit more on those on how to do an ombre. But all I'm basically doing is taking that ombre brush backwards and forwards until those two colours blend together. It doesn't have to look perfect on that first coat because we can perfect it when we come in and do the second coat. Now, one thing I will say, when I'm doing an ombre, I like to let the colours sit for a minute just before popping them into cure, and that will minimise any of your brush strokes. So that's what the first coat looked like once that had cured. So then I'm going to come in and do exactly the same for the second coat. So I'm applying the Pool Party at the cuticle area, taking it roughly halfway down the nail, and then we're coming in with Fiji Water at the tip of the nail. Now here you need to be very, very careful. If your second colour touches your first colour, if the brush touches, make sure to clean it off before you pop it back into your bottle. So I'm then going to come in again and blend those two colours together. To be honest, these two colours blended absolutely effortlessly together because they both are quite similar. They're both blues, so it was quite an easy ombre to do. If you are new to ombres, I would recommend starting out with two similar colours because it just helps you learn how to control the product, how to control the brush, and you get quite a nice, easy effect. So it's a great starting point to use two colours that are similar. Now I just continue doing this, taking the lighter colour into the darker colour and the darker colour into the lighter colour until I'm happy with that blend. And then again, I will let that sit for a minute just to minimise those brush strokes before curing. And then this is what the ombre looked like once it had cured. I'm then going to switch to my striped liner brush and the Blue Lagoon glitter gel polish. I'm just going to paint a line down the nail, and we're basically going to colour in one half of the nail with the glitter gel polish. Now I'm trying to get my line as neat as possible with that striped liner brush, but I do think I come in a moment and neaten it up using the angled brush. But before doing that, I'm just going to colour it in. So I'm just using my bottle brush to fill in this area. You could also use the round brush if you would find that easier, but because it was quite a large area, I just opted to use the bottle brush. And look how gorgeous the Blue Lagoon looked. So yeah, I did grab my angled nail art brush just to help neaten out that line because I wanted it to look a little bit more crisp. So I'm then popping that in to cure for 30 seconds. And to finish off this design, I'm just going to take some bendy striping tape and place this down the center of the nail, just because I wanted a pop of something between the two colors. Again, though, this is still keeping with quite a simple salon friendly design. I think this would look fab as an accent now in a full set. So I'm just placing that down, positioning it as best as I can using my tweezers. And then once I have got it positioned, I just rub it down to make sure that it's securely attached to the gel polish. Now, whenever I add any nail art to my gel polish sets, I prefer to top coat with the no wipe rubber top coat because it's slightly thicker in consistency. It encapsulates nail art absolutely perfectly. It's kind of like somewhere between a regular top coat and a builder gel. It's just that little bit thicker. And I find if I use this on myself over striping tape or water decals, it seals them in a lot nicer and I don't have to do 2 coats or anything like that. The rubber top coat does require a 60-second cure, so I pop that into cure for 60 seconds and this is the finished result. Now, moving on to the fourth and final design, we're going to be using Amber Flame with O Vanilla. Now, this is a really simple design, but I wanted to show you guys how you can create different effects with the glitter gel polishes depending on what color base you pop them over. So I'm popping this over a nude base. O Vanilla is a lovely creamy nude / yellow color. I'm going to do 2 coats, but in all honesty, you could have probably done this design with just the 1 coat. I'm not really sure why I opted to do 2 coats. I think it was just out of habit. But I've done my second coat, popped it into cure for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to come over the top with the Amber Flame and it just makes it look a lot more orange. I do show you guys it compared against the swatch and it just gives off a more darker effect. So I'm really interested to play around with these and see what effects we can create by popping them over different bases. But you can just see here the difference in the 2 colors, so definitely have a go yourself at playing around and popping the glitters over different bases, just because you can have so much fun creating different designs. Now I'm going to wipe off the tacky layer from the Amber Flame because I'm going to come over the top and stamp on a butterfly. So nice and simple, but I absolutely love stamping over glitter. I kind of think the glitter background to stamping just looks like really special. It's a really pretty effect, especially in spring nails. So I've stamped down my image and then I'm going to come over the top of that with my no wipe top coat just to seal the stamping in. And then once I've applied that top coat, I'm going to pop that in to cure for 30 seconds. And this is the finished result. This design was my favourite, even though it was the most easy to do, because I just really loved that Amber Flame background. So guys, that is the end of the video. I really hope you all enjoyed watching and I really hope you all love the Spring Bling collection as much as I do. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I will have lots of videos coming up using these gorgeous new colours. Thank you all so much for watching. Lots of love. Take care and bye bye.